Hey everyone, this is Steve from PublishPress. I'm going to show you how you can create or copy WordPress user roles. We're going to use the PublishPress Capabilities plugin, and making a copy or creating a whole new WordPress user role is really useful because WordPress only provides you with 5 user roles by default, and these have fixed permissions that you can't change without a plugin. Subscriber is the really basic role, which can do almost nothing on your site. A contributor can contribute posts but can't edit them. An author can create posts and edit their own posts. An editor can edit or change anyone's posts. And an administrator, well, an administrator can do absolutely anything on your site. If you have a busy site, you probably need some slightly more complex roles than this. So, if you're going to set up your users in a slightly different way, the best thing to do is to create new roles for them. In this example, I'm going to make a slight variation on the author role. Before we create the new role, I'm going to show you what an author will see when they log in to a WordPress site. This is what they'll see. They'll be able to go to the WordPress dashboard, and they'll be able to go to the post screen, and they can add new posts, although they cannot edit other people's posts. What I'm going to do is make a new user role that can edit and create posts and also pages as well. So to do this, we're going to use the Capabilities plugin, and what we're going to do is make a copy of the author role, and we're going to make some slight changes to it. So on the Capabilities screen in PublishPress Capabilities, I'm going to go to the top right corner and make sure that author is selected. And you can specifically see in the center of the screen exactly what the permissions are for the author role. They can edit posts, publish posts, and they can edit published posts. However, they have no permissions for editing other people's content. So what I'm going to do is select author, and then down here, I'm going to copy the author role, and I'm going to be very precise with this name. I'm going to call it Posts and Pages Author. So the name tells me exactly what this role is going to do. I will click on Copy. And now I have a new role, and what I'm going to do is mimic the posts permissions for pages as well, simply by making sure that I check the same boxes for both posts and pages. I'm going to click on Save Changes, and I'll go back to the user screen, and originally I tested this user who was an author. What I'm going to do is move them from being an author to being a posts and pages author. I have updated them, and now I'm going to test their account to see what's different. Now we have a new user role that can access both posts and also pages for the first time. They cannot edit other people's pages, but they can create their own new pages in here. The reason that I recommend taking this approach and copying an existing user role is that the 5 default roles, which are subscriber, contributor, author, editor, and administrator, these 5 roles form a nice baseline that you can use to copy and make small modifications for. So, if you want someone with almost 0 permissions, I would recommend copying the subscriber role. If you want someone who can send content to your site, but maybe have 1 or 2 slightly different permissions, I would copy and rename the contributor role. If you want someone like we did, who can create and edit their own content, make a copy of the author role. If you want someone who has almost full editing access, you can copy the editor role. And if you want someone who has almost full access to your entire site, you can copy the administrator role. So now we've seen it once. Let me take you through one more quick example. I'm going to go back to capabilities. And what we're going to do is choose the editor. And let's see what permissions the editor has. So the editor is able to do almost anything to all the posts and all the pages. What I'm going to do is create an editor role that can do nothing at all to pages. All they're going to be able to do is edit the pages on the site. So over here on the right side, I'm going to call this Posts Editor. I'll click on Copy. And what I'm going to do is uncheck all these boxes for the pages and click on Save. And before I actually give this to a real user, let me go ahead and test it. And my test user is now in the Posts Editor role. And if I test their account, they no longer have any access to the Pages screen, but they can go to the Post screen and they can edit other people's posts and click Add New to create their own posts. So PublishPress Capabilities is a super useful plugin. It allows you to control permissions for your WordPress posts, pages, media, and custom post types. And if you do need something slightly more than the default WordPress user roles, then give PublishPress Capabilities a try. It allows you to quickly and easily create or copy any WordPress user role.